Event Zero is a first-person exploration game available for $19.99, but the real question is, should you buy it? Let me just get this out of the way first. They are charging nearly $20 for a 2 to 4 hour experience. Are they insane? Let's find out. As you can see here, we have a decent selection of graphics options to choose from, which is nice. There's no FOV slider though, which is a shame. But you can rebind your keys, which I recommend not doing because that's what makes this game so unique. Speaking of controls, left click is to move forward, right click is to move backwards. Unless you're in space, then right clicking stabilizes you from spinning constantly or sliding left to right, whatever direction you decide to push. And the keyboard is used to type, obviously. This time the gameplay focuses on three major things. Number one would be the walking. I know it sounds familiar, don't worry, it's nothing like the last game. It's just because you're in such a small confined space, it's not an issue. But that's what you'll be doing the whole time, is just walking around. Number two, looking at objects. This will help you get information on the area around you and even give you some hints from time to time. It's very simple. You just mouse over the object and a little description pops up over it. And the final one, number three, talking to Kaizen. This is where the meat of the game resides in. He's surprisingly intelligent because you can type whatever you want to him and he reacts negatively or positively to whatever you say. Which from a player standpoint, that's pretty impressive. There are some occasions where he doesn't understand what you say, but a follow-up question usually fixes that. Next up is the story. I will try to keep this as spoiler-free with as little detail as possible, just because it is best played blind. As far as I'm aware, the few details you select about yourself in the beginning have no barrier on what you can do in the game. You are on a spaceship near Europa, and you were selected for this particular mission, and like I mentioned earlier, you must interact with Kaizen, and depending on what you say and how you say it determines which of the three endings you will get. Three endings I'm aware that exist, there might be more, but I'm aware there's only three major ones. Let's say, for instance, you type to him open logs. He will then open up the logs for you, but what if you typed open logs please to be nice, or what if you typed open the fucking logs to be mean? Kind of like a Telltale game, he will remember that, so think before you type. The logs do a good job of dropping breadcrumbs, giving you hints on what needs to be done, and some decent backstory on the characters that inhabit the ship. There are also some light hacking puzzles in the terminals, but I enjoyed them. This gets a high replayability rating from me, mostly because of Kaizen. He's the star of the game here. It's like talking to Cleverbot, except it's good. You could have a playthrough where you are super nice, super mean, or in the middle of the road, or you can mix it up and do anything you want, really. And to me, that aspect of the game outweighs the story where it's so fun talking to him you forget what you actually have to do. On to the difficulty. Not much to say here. It's a pretty casual game, and the whole focus is talking on Kaizen, so there really is no concept of difficulty. It's just try to have an emotional attachment, whichever way you decide, with Kaizen. And finally is the soundtrack. If there was music playing, I sure as hell don't remember it. There is a girl that sings to you during the game, but in the credits a beat gets layered over, and that's about all I could remember. In all honesty, this is not really my type of game, but I did enjoy it. I had fun with it. But remember what I said earlier about that $20 price tag? Yeah, that's the biggest problem holding it back. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10 and a thumbs up, but I would not buy this at full price. I would wait for a Steam sale, or personally, I would only pick it up at $5, but I could see other people picking it up at 10. So just buyer beware. If you're buying it at $20, you're not going to get a very long game out of this. Hey, it's that time of the video where I get to shamelessly promote my other content. On to the left, we have my very first review of the Rodinia project. Boy, what a game that was. Down below, we have my playthrough of Event Zero. That was fun. On the top right, we have my City Skylines playthrough. Man, what a mess I made in that city. I gotta clean that up. Oh, and that little V in the bottom right, why don't you go ahead and click that for me, because I'll be adding more reviews throughout the year. I'm done for today, and I will see you next time.